Right, I'm going on in a minute, hopefully. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the US live Kabbalat Shabbat, which is, I have to say, is a wonderful resource. Our own shul, we were streaming services and we stopped for a month or two. And then I was at an event and I bumped into two people I didn't even know join us. And they said, why have you stopped live streaming? So we carried on. So it's a very important thing. First thing I want to do before we forget is to count the Omer. So today is the 34th day. It's on page 240 if you have a Siddur. We'll say it in case anyone forgot last night. Hayom arba ushloshim yom shem arba shavuos v'shish yomim la'omer. Today is the 34th day, which marks 4 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Don't forget to count later tonight as well. Just share a thought before we start the davening. Very lucky to be joined by two younger members of our community here, Josh and Noah Markovich, will be joining me in a moment, along with their dad possibly. Just to share a thought about this week's Parashat, which is Behar. So the story is told of the couple who went into a certain well-known sofa store. We won't name it for product placement reasons. And they were getting signed up to buy a brand new 3-piece suite. And, the salesman's managed to sell them about £2,000 worth of furniture. And right at the end, he turns to them, he says, just one more thing. He says, you walk out of here today with your sofas and you don't pay anything for 6 months. And the husband says to the wife, we better get out of here. He's heard all about us. In this week's Sedra, we find the prohibition against lending money on interest. So if a person lends money to another person, according to Jewish law, you're not supposed to charge interest. And the various reasons given for this, and I would suggest one reason is very simple, that as we see particularly today with things like payday loans and loan sharks, the Torah tells us that interest literally bites a person. It destroys a person. But more than that, when you lend someone money on interest, you're basically saying, I'll lend you some money and then I'll sit back and the profits will come rolling in and I'll do nothing. And life doesn't work that way. So interestingly, there is a way that you are allowed to come up with a similar scheme to interest, and it's called a heta iska, where you agree between you that this is not just a loan, but it's an investment and you carry some risk as well. When you become a partner, when you invest, you're entitled to a return on your investment, and that can be structured as a sort of regular payment like interest. But the difference is you're not just sitting back, you are become an investor with certain risks associated with that. So the lesson is very simple. There's never a time in life, whether it's our family relationships, our work, our community relationships, or certainly our relationship with God, when we can just sit back and say, I've done all the work, I'm retiring now, I'm just going to wait for the money to come rolling in. Life doesn't work that way. Things require constant effort, constant investment. Whether it's our marriages, our family lives, or certainly our religious lives and our relationship with God, it needs constant attention, constant investment. If we invest in it, then we can expect a return. But if we think that we can just put all the effort in the early days and then sit back and wait for the interest to come rolling in, it doesn't work that way. And we see that from this week's Sedra. So whatever area of life, whatever relationship, we have to constantly be investing, constantly putting something in, no matter how old, how long it's gone on, no matter what stage. When we do that, we can reasonably expect a return and some kind of profit on our investment, but only if we are a stakeholder, if we're an investor, not if we're just a bystander. With that in mind, we'll start Kabbalat Shabbat on page 256. So I'm very privileged again to be joined by Josh and Noah, who are taller than me, local members of our community and very nice davners. Okay, page 256. Yedid nefesh avarachaman Meshai chavtecha el retzoinecha Yarutz avtecha kamo ayel Yishachaveh el mol hadarecha Yerablo Yedidoisecha Minoi fetzuf v'chol ta'am Hador Na'eh Ziv Olam Nafshi choilas Abasecha Ana Elna Refana Behar Noam Zimacha Otis Chazei Besis Rapei Behar Yisala Simcha Soilam Basik Yemuna Rachamecha V'chusana al benahu v'cha ki zekama nisoiv nisavti lirois ziferes uzecha eilechamda libi v'chusana Bi'ati salam higalena ufrois chavili alai esukas shaloi mecha ta'ireret michvoidecha nagila v'nismecha bach Mahereha kiva moed v'chaneinu kimei olam Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 yana nai 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 yana nai 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 yana nai 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 yana nai 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 yana nai 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 yana nai 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 ai nai 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 yana nai 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 ai nai nai yana nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Ananai nai 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 Lechun aranana l'Adonai Nariah l'tzor yisheinu Nekadma fonam b'soida bizmirois nariala Savayzim la shela yom buasam yemeshes yadam yitzaru by mishtacha v'menichra never chalif ne'adno yaseinu gerling shenesun yavoi seichem chamnigam rufoli arba'im shana Akubato Aimaram Toilei Vavheim Vahheim Lo Yodu Nerachai Asher Nishmati Miapi Im Yevoyon El Manuchasi Shiru Ladainai Shir Chadash Shiru Ladainai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladainai Shemai Basru Miyam Layom Yeshuas Sapru Vagoyim Kavaida V'chol Ha'amim nifloisav ki gadol Adonai u'ma'olam eyad noirahu akol Elohim ma'inayin ki kol Elohim yoamim elilim v'Adonai shamayim asa Hoyd v'hada lefanav v'siferes v'mikdashoy havul Adonai mishmachai samim havul Adonai kavod v'ois havul Adonai kavod shemai sayu mincha uvayu lechatzroi samayin Ishachavu Adonai Behar Kodesh Kilu Mipamna Kol Haaretz Imru Vagoyim Adonai Malach Avtikon Tevet Ba'al Timoy Yodinamim B'meisharim Yismachu Hashamayim B'sagel Haaretz Yiramayam U'malayam Yaloi Sadai B'chol asher bo aynai Os yiranenu kol atzeyawa Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishmoi ta'aretz Yishmoi teva B'tzedek V'yamim b'emunasa Yanai nai 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 Ay na 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 na, ay na na na, ay na 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 na, ay na na na, ay na 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 na. Adam Malata Gelaret, telling me what I say. Eishtefan of Taylor, who says Sabin Torah, Urak of Taylor, Rossum of Tachelaret. Harim Katainam Masim if they had in them head and colored Segida Shamayim Tikai, Ruchamim Kavada Yevosh, Color Tay Pesam is Halim Belim, Ishakula Kolayim, Shama Batist Matzion, Bertagel Nabanais Yehuda, Leman Mishmatecha Adonai, Kiata Adonai Elyon. Al kol haaretz, ma'inalei so al kol Elohim, avei Adonai, sinura, shemen avshois chasidav, miyad reshaim yatzileim, uzaru ala tzadik, ulishaylei simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, Vaydur zecher kodshoy mizmo shiru ladonai shir chadash ki nifla isasa hoshialo yaminai uzarama kodshoy diyamadayna yeshuasai le'nei hagoyim gilatzikasai Zachar chastai v'emunasai Neveis Yisrael Ra'u chalav se'aretz Eis Yeshuas Eloheinu Hariyu l'Adonai kol haaretz Pitzchu v'ramenu v'zameru Zamru l'Adonai mechino V'chino v'kol zimra V'chatzot rois v'kol shofar Hariyu lifnei hamelech Adonai Yiram hayam umnayai Tevel v'yoshveva Naharoi simcha ucha Yachat harim yerameinu Lifnei Adonai kiva Lishboi ta'aretz Yishboi tevel v'tzedek V'yamim b'meisharim Adonai malaki v'zu amin Amma b'tzil gadol ramo kol ha'amim yodi shema gadol no kadoshu. V'oz melech mishpat ha'hei v'ata'keinon zameshor mishpat u'tzaka v'yakov d'asisa. V'omu v'adil nishtach v'lodim v'kadoshu. Amud anan yidaber aleihem shomru eidoi som v'chaim nasan lamai Adonai Eloheinu ato anisom el noisei ha'yisa lahem v'noi keim alaliloi som Raimamu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu lahar kachai Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Page 264. Mizmor leDavid Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim Havu l'Adonai Kavod ba'zayin Havu l'Adonai Kavod shema Shtachavu l'Adonai b'adras kodesh Kol l'Adonai alamayim El kavod hirim Adonai Amayim rabim Kol Adonai Bakoyach Hainaina Kol Adonai Behar Kol Adonai Shever Arazim Vayshaber Adonai Esar Zeyalvanai Vayarkidei Kamoei Lebanon Syrian Kamoei Van Re'im Mainain Kol Adonai Chaytzev Lavosesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yachil Elai Alois Vayechesorai Yarois Uvaheichalavai Kuloi Merkavai Nain Adonai Lebavul Yasham Yeshev Adonai Melech Liolam Adonai Yas Liyamo Yitain Adonai Yivarech Esamloi Vashaloi Ein 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 Chadadi on page 266. We've been doing online, we'll stop before the last verse, which welcomes the Shabbos. We'll go offline at that point and wish everyone Shabbat Shalom. The actual earliest candlelighting time is 7:13, so you have a bit of time to do something in the meantime before you finish davening and light your candles. So page 266, and we'll stop before the last verse and sign off at that point. L'chadoidi l'gras kala p'nei Shabbos nekavla l'chadoidi l'gras kala p'nei Shabbos nekavla Shamu v'zachu b'diburecha Hishmiyanu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shma echad L'shem u'siferes v'l'sila L'chadoidi l'gras kala B'nei Shabbos nekavla nay likra Shabbos lechuvanecha ki makor habaracha meirosh mikedem nesucha soif ma'aseh mashavat chila lecha doidi likras kala Hanei Shabbos Nakabla Nay Mikdash Melechim Lucha Kumitzay Mitzay Chavecha Rav Lasheves B'Yein Mekabocha V'hu Yachamol Allah Yichem Lecha Doidi Likras kala Panei Shabbos Nakabla Ay his nari meyafa kumi Livshivigdei Sefartei Chami Al Yad Ben Yishai Beis Halachmi Korva El Nashim Yallah Lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos Nakabla Ay hisayri kiva ayre kumi ayri Ori shidameri Kavod Adonai, Allah Yichnigla, Lecha Doidi, Likras Kala, Panei Shabbos, Nakabla, Ay nay nay ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay na 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 ay na 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 ay na lo se vashima lo se kami mati shoy khayu matami pa ke khasuani ayami v'nibne sari ratila lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla Lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla V'hayu limshisa shoy sayich V'rachaku kol mevalayich Yosis alayich Eloi hayich Kim sois hasana kala Lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla Lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla Anay nay 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 Yaminus moti proitzi V'yes Adonai taritzi Ay nay 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 Al Yadish ben Partzi V'mismecha v'nagila Lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla Lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabla Ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay nay ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay nay ay nay 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 ay nay nay ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay 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 ay nay nay nay. Big thank you to the Markovich family for helping out, really adding to the harmony, including their dad Stephen, who's being shy here on the side, and Josh and Noah. Big hand to them. Wish everyone Shabbat Shalom. and take care, and hope to see you again soon. Shabbat Shalom and all the best.